I don't fucking know, but he's acting like a dickhead. Oh, the first thing he did when we got there, before he started pulling his pants down and shit, was Austin drove us there. He gets out of the car, and Austin goes and... Oh, well, we came in a different car. Austin's car was already there. So he walks up to Austin's car, and he starts pissing on it. Pissing on the side of his car. And then he says, come on, you guys, come over here and help me piss on Austin's car. And we're like, no. Well, I was drunk, so I pissed on his car, too. You know, that goes along with my last ad lib. But my other friend said no. So here's Theo's reaction. You motherfucker! He starts chasing my other friend around with his dick out, pissing. So he's running around pissing, trying to piss on my friend because he wouldn't piss on Austin's car. So that was kind of funny, although a bit disturbing. I was just glad that he didn't piss on me. So anyway, that was before we went inside. Then we went inside, and then he starts whacking it to the Disney Channel. So we left him there. So about half an hour to an hour later after we got home... Well, actually, by the time when we got home... Why the hell does so many of your stories include you relieving yourself on someone's car with your friends? I have one word for you, schizophrenic. Alcohol. It's bad, okay? There you go. That should explain it. Should also explain where schizophrenic came from. His parents got all boozed up and, well, you can figure out the rest. And they realized what a horrible mistake they'd made. I'm just kidding, schizophrenic. I love you. Anyway, when we got back to the apartment, the answering machine had like 2 or 3 messages on it. And there's this other guy that we knew, Mike McLaughlin. And he talked like this, and he'd always say, seriously, no, seriously, dude, seriously. He'd say that kind of shit all the time. He also was like a big-time alcoholic, and he had a theory that you could live off of beer, which of course we all said was bullshit. No, man, it's got grains and wheat and stuff in it. You can live off that shit. Sure, Mike, yeah, okay. So anyway, we get home, we check the answering machine, and it's like, dude, you guys, seriously, you guys need to come pick Theo up. He's pissing everybody off here, and I want to get rid of him. And I'm like, fuck that. We're already home. He's like, no. Well, never mind. This is an answering machine message. I told my friend, I was like, fuck that. Let's just leave him there. There's another answering machine message. We decided to leave him there. So then, a few minutes later, Mike McLaughlin calls back again, and he's like, dude, seriously. You guys need to come down here and pick him up. He's pissing everybody off, and he's fucking shit up. And we're like, fuck it, god damn it. Okay, fine. So, me and my 2 friends decide to go pick him up. Austin's passed out somewhere, so we take Austin's car, I think. If I remember right, we took Austin's car. Yeah. We take Austin's car. We go to pick him up. Is he on the 5th floor now? What the fuck are you talking about? 5th floor. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we go pick the guy up. We find him, and we go down to the car, and we had all drank some, but my other 2 friends, Leaper and Jim, neither one of them had really drank almost anything, so they weren't drunk. And plus, it had been a few hours, so they weren't drunk really that much. Definitely not as drunk as Theo. Theo was shit-faced, pissing on stuff, running around with his dick hanging out. So, we gotta pick him up. He's like, no way, man, I'm not getting in the car with you fuckers. And we're like, why not? He's like, you guys are fucking drunk. And we're like, Theo, you're the one fucking pissing on people's cars and shit. You're drunk. No way, dude. He takes a beer with him down to the car, too. We're like, Theo, you can't bring that in the car. If we get pulled over, it's an open container. Fuck you, I'm gonna finish my beer. So he gets in the back seat of the car, and he's freaking. Actually, he wouldn't get in the car. He's like, I'm not getting in the car. Jim's fucking shit-faced. He was falling all over the place. I'm not getting in the car with him. And he's freaking out and shit, telling me he's not going to get in the car because everybody's more drunk than he is. He said, let me drive. I said, fuck that. You're not driving. I said, fine, we're going to leave you here. So we get in the car, and he gets in the back seat. And then he still doesn't want us to drive. So he starts kicking Leaper's seat so he can't get in the car. It has one of those seats that fold forward. He's kicking the seat. I grab his leg and push it down and say, quit fucking doing that. So finally, he stops doing that and he says, Jim doesn't even have his license. And Jim's... Oh, wait. Leaper was going to drive. He said, Leaper, you can't drive because you're too drunk. So Jim's like, fine, I'll drive. So Jim gets in the driver's seat. He tells Jim he's too drunk to drive too. He goes, you don't even have your license with you. Jim's like, yes, I do. He's like, let me see your license. So he pulls out his license, and Theo grabs it and throws it out the window to stop him from being able to drive, basically, is what he did it for. We're like, what the fuck are you doing? He still has the beer can in his hand. It's half empty. So Jim has to get out and grab the fucking license. Jim wears glasses, so he gets back in the car and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And Theo grabs his glasses and bends them in half, trying to break them, so that Jim couldn't drive, because he's still convinced that everybody's more drunk than he is, and that he should be the one driving. So, of course, at this point I'm getting pissed off, and I started yelling at him, telling him to fucking stop that shit. And he has his beer can in his hand, and he turns to me, he's like, yeah, how would you like it if I fucking smashed your face? So I said, go ahead. If you hit me with that beer can, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. He's like, so he, like, drinks the beer and then he throws it out the window. So then we start driving home, finally. Jim's glasses are those kind where you can bend them and shit and they don't break. So we bent them back and he put them on. He was obviously pissed. Leaper was pissed. I was really pissed. I was in the back seat with Theo. I was sitting there talking to him. And you could tell he was shit-faced because he was getting all emotional and shit. He starts crying and shit in the back seat. He's sitting there going, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? He's like, you don't understand. You don't understand. I saw Jim before. He was really drunk and can't drive. I was afraid I was going to die. I'm like, yeah, I understand. I understand you're a fucking asshole. He's like, no, you don't understand. I said, I understand. Just shut up. So we get back to the apartment. And he's still crying. He runs up to his room and passes out. And, of course, the next day, he probably didn't even remember most of it. Or if he did, he didn't even mention it. Didn't say anything about it. So everybody was just like, acted like it didn't happen, I guess. Anyway, he didn't live there too much longer after that. He moved out. But there you go. That was the example of some of the people that I was roommates with. Theo and Austin. Let's see. What else can I talk about? Come on, we need some filler. What? Yes? Sons of bitches. Somebody come up with something for me to talk about. I have another story I can tell, but I don't want to tell that one yet. Yeah, those stories are pretty interesting, aren't they? Yeah. Shoutcast a Footman War game. No thanks. I'm talking about pissing on cars. Alright, there we go. I know what the fans want. They want to hear about pissing on cars. Yeah, that's right. Damn right it's Gosu. Alright. Back into Warcraft. What are we waiting for? I wanted to do an ad lib anyway, and nobody wanted to play any games, and so I decided to start telling stories and shit. Yeah, more pissing on cars is always good. Alright, I'll tell you another story. This one's pretty interesting, I guess, especially if you are a wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling since like 7th grade or something, and I watched all the videotapes of all the older shit I hadn't seen before, so I had pretty much seen everything. I always liked wrestling, and I was interested in it and how it worked, but I didn't know. Then on some pay-per-view, someone had a site